Christmas Tree. Not ancient. German hymn from the 17th century, 1600s. By about the 1800s, and it was of course called O Tannenbaum, which was just not even really a Christmas tree idea, but in the early 19th century started using trees to represent Christmas, and English lyrics got written, and the rest is history. What we're going to do in this lesson, though, is take a look at a fairly simple arrangement in the key of E and maybe talk about some elaborations or embellishments and some things we can do in there. But I want to talk just a little bit about the chord progression first, and it's always good to understand that, and then what I chose to do with it. We're going to play it it's in 3/4 time, so many times we're going to be keeping just a steady 1, 2, 3, 3/4 note kind of pattern in the bass. That particularly happened in the third line. So that part always feels like a little bit of a music box sort of sound to me because of using a very high second bass note. The second bass note went all the way up to the open E, or the equivalent of the open E string. Anyway, so 3/4 time, very slowly. We want to let it breathe a little bit. Sometimes we want to take an extra quarter of a beat before we move into the next measure. And the rolling of chords is very helpful if you've got the hang of being able to spread your chords out by playing your thumb, index, middle, and ring finger all slightly apart. That can add a lot to a slow song like this. And then it's also, we're doing it with a swing feel, so it has a little bit of a triplet. And even the beginning, this little semi-jazzy intro I put together, we should be able to feel the swing beat in there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So we'll take a look at the tab, we'll take a look at the progression, and hopefully in a short amount of time you'll have a nice little arrangement of O Christmas Tree to play. First thing with any song you're trying to do an arrangement of is to have a good understanding of the chord progression. Well, in the key of E, we're going to play, if I was just strumming this song, it would be E's and B7s for most of it. And you can play the B7 just as a standard, open chord. We usually are going to have it change. In many of the measures, it'll change to B7 for just one beat on the third beat. So if we follow the chart, not the chart, but the tab, notice I have 2 beats of E. We're looking at the second line. We'll talk about the intro and the outro separately. But the chord progression, 2 beats of E to B7 and back to E for 3 beats. To B7, the little bounce. Second ending. Now the second section, the next line, is E, measure of E, 2 B7s, and another measure of E. Now the fourth line, which is the next set of 4 measures, could be the same as the first 2 lines. So it really falls into an AABA format, but I chose to make the harmony a little more colorful or complicated in the fourth line. E to B7 to C sharp 7 for 3 beats, to F sharp minor for 2, and then the B7, and then it could just end on E. Now I've tacked on a little outro that sort of reverses the intro that we'll talk about again a little bit later. But there's our chord progression. So if I was just going to strum through this and sing it very simply, we'd have Now, hopefully you're familiar with the chords I just played there. I was using the E and the B7 as just standard open chords. And F sharp minor would be a full bar at the 2nd fret in the E minor shapes. The B7 following the F sharp minor, I would play as a bar at the 2nd out of the A family, A7 shape, barred at the 2nd. And for the C sharp 7, we'd use that same shape up at the 4th fret. So there we have the overall structure, I guess, to the harmony. In the next segment, we'll start talking about the exact arrangement.